The KMT is taking the DPP to court for passing a law that nationalizes Taiwan's 17 irrigation associations. These farmer-owned associations, which control much of Taiwan's water supply, are seen as a source of power and patronage for KMT factions.
The DPP argues that the government needs authority to manage the irrigation system and punish illicit activity. The KMT plans to take the case to a constitutional court, saying it would illegally confiscate private assets.
The KMT's legislative caucus and irrigation association representatives protested the passing of a bill to nationalize Taiwan's irrigation associations. They called on the Judicial Yuan to open the case and determine whether the act violates the Constitution.
It's the first step toward the eradication of irrigation associations. According to Article 40 on the Act of Irrigation Association Organization, members have voting rights and election rights. They are now being deprived of them. It's an extremely serious infringement of farmers' rights. Forcing through this unconstitutional bill is an act we deeply condemn. We at the KMT Legislative Caucus are the Constitution's last defenses.
In a draft of a request for constitutional interpretation, former Tainan Commissioner Huan-chih stated it was an established practice for farmers to participate in irrigation management. He said the administration was stripping away the property and the election rights of Taiwan's irrigation associations.
All of the reform proposals put forward by the KMT back then were completely rejected. They weren't accepted, so we can't tolerate that the people's property will be confiscated under the guise of reform. It's seizing the property of civil groups. This issue does not concern infringement on private property. In the future, the new Irrigation Department will have 17 divisions, each with its own fund. The assets of the 17 irrigation associations will be transferred in full to these funds. The government won't be the sole owner. The existing irrigation equipment and operations will be maintained, and budgets from the public sector will be given preference. It will remain the same as before.
The DPP is going ahead with its proposed reform as a legal storm closes in from the horizon.